your base is actually outputting. Okay, the average output is 133. If we look at the P menu and we come back here to main, I have battery capacity, but it's 0. So right now we are using more power than what we can store. There isn't any additional right now that we're actually storing power. So we would need to go through and find out what is taking power in this base that's stopping us from charging the batteries. And then being able to give the batteries a chance to charge up during the day cycle. So that way, if we need to use anything in here, we can fully rely on solar power instead of the need to burn fuel. And by fuel, I mean like Promethean packs or fusion cells. You know, harvesting the power of the sun in this game is 100% free. You just have your initial upfront investment of the solar panels and the solar capacitors. But once those are built, you can just keep on going with solar power. It's a great thing. You know, talk about like living off the grid. So we could go down through here. You know, you always want to have your fridges on. These are all in here as fridge 1. This kind of bugs me. You always want to have your refrigerators on, so you won't really set up signal logic for your fridge because you always want to have these on. But other things in here that we can take a look at. Your grow lights are always on. You never want to set up signal logic for grow lights. You always want those to be on. LCD screens can be set up how you want. You can tie them to motion sensors if you want. You can leave them on. They don't take a lot of power. If we come over here to the properties, you'll notice that there's no power properties listed here for LCD screen. But you could do some neat things with signal logic with LCD screens like we did in the space station. But if I come down here to, say, the stations category, a lot of your stations take a lot of power. And the food processor is definitely one of those you want to put signal logic on because it eats up a lot of power. So you'll see this energy in 300 PUs right here just from this guy. Luckily he's turned off at the moment. But we could set up a toggle switch for food processors. And right now there's no signal logic involved with this. So we can come over here and we can just say food processor. And now we have to find a signal that's on the P menu that now we can set up to control this particular food processor. So follow this only if it's on with the P switch. Now, some other things in here to kind of keep in mind is, you know, you kind of go through here and you want to look at what takes up power. Constructors definitely take up a lot of power. Furnaces, deconstructors, food processors, those are all things that take up furnaces. Furnaces take up an enormous amount of power. So you'll see here that 2.5 kPu, so occasionally means 1,000. So this takes up an enormous amount of power. So you typically want to put your furnaces on their own. Actually, we'll not name that sig. We'll keep this as on. So furnace.on, you always want to have a furnace set up for signal logic. It's not turned on at the moment, but so now we're just going to follow furnace.on. And what else can we take a look at? We got a fridge in here that's kind of sneaking in here. It should be really in the fridge group. Clone chambers, they don't take a whole lot. 10 PUs, no big deal. Armor locker, 5 PU, no big deal. O2 stations, those don't take up very much, 5 PU, that's fine. Repair bay, 25 kPu. You may or may not want to switch repair bay. In my capital vessel, I did. Just so that my repair bay and my repair console, I actually linked them up to a toggle switch as well as the motion sensors inside. And then the ATM doesn't hardly take up anything, it's just 1 PU. So depending on how you actually want to like go through here, you already have a switch for the repair bay? Cool. So you can fine tune. You can easily see what takes up power, what doesn't take up power, and make the appropriate adjustments. You can either do the toggle switches over here. You can link them to the motion sensors. You could even get specific with and. You could say if someone's in the area with a motion sensor and they flip the toggle switch, then we can use it. And so there's definitely a lot of things that you can do. It gives you a lot of fine-tuning or control over what things you want to turn off or keep off. And so I'm a big fan of signal logic. And I think that just because we only just got the 15 solar panels, I think if we just give this base a little bit of time, it will definitely get to where we can actually output. I don't like the fact that we're still dishing out 420 PUs. I'm kind of a little concerned about that. Let me see here. We have a lot of containers, but that's not a big deal. We could probably optimize some of these fuel tanks just because there's so many T1s. But fuel tanks, I don't think really use a lot of energy. They're only down here like 1 PU. Grow lights aren't really a big deal. They're 5 each. Every base should have its own greenhouse. I'm a big supporter of having greenhouses in your base. And Tonic and I keep in touch. So Tonic is actually on Discord. I don't know how much she does on Discord, but I can definitely make sure to drop her a note so that let me see here. Tom, do me a favor and just join the Discord for me. And that way I'll get your name. And you need I'll get you in the Managing Gamers Discord as well. That's kind of what we transfer to from Minecraft. So you'll get 2 Discords. But I'll hook you up. I'll make sure you're good to go. And so let's see, doors aren't really a problem. There's still something else in this base that's taking a lot of power, and I'm not quite sure what it is just yet. I'm just going to need to kind of go through here and take a look. You know, lights aren't that huge of a deal, but it adds up over time, so that's why it's kind of nice to put lights on their own sensors. And a lot of these lights aren't on signal logic. So we could say like, hey, this light is in the hangar. So I could just do light.hanger1. Actually, we'll put a dot right here, and I'll just copy like the first part of this. Let me grab right in front of that period, and any one of these that has signal logic involving the hangar, I'm just going to name it. This is 2. And this will kind of give me an idea as to what lights are in the hangar versus what lights are not in the hangar. Because I can go around and I can set the rest of these lights up on motion sensors. So that's a 4. And this one's a 5. And so it's just a matter of just being meticulous and very detail oriented, if you will, to keep abreast of what is draining your power and what is using your power and getting ahead of it and setting it up on signal logic. And I think that was pretty much it. So we could even make this its own group. We can say hangar lights, and we can move these into their own group so they're not identified with the other lights at all. So I'm just gonna drop that. What's up? How you doing? We can add this into hangar lights. There we go. And now everything identified as a hangar light, I can just very quickly click and select and move it up. And again, we're just kind of optimizing this as we go. So that way we can make sure that everything that we want to have on is on when we do it. Dude, personal Discord soon. I actually don't know what her thing is on Discord because she only got it and she never joined any of my channels, which is hilarious. I don't mind your spelling. I can kind of read between the lines. What's your Discord?
I don't know.
You don't know what your Discord is?
I'd have to look at it probably.
You gotta look at it probably. Tom, I'll figure this out off stream. She doesn't even know what the hell her Discord is right now.
I never get on it.
You never get on it. Okay, well that's just fantastic. So yeah, I'll get back to you on that. So the rest of these lights are throughout the base, and we really don't know where we can say show on HUD, and it'll tell me where all these lights are. And then we can just go in those rooms and set up more motion sensors. So let's just take a couple of these, for example. I'm going to grab a few. Let's just say for shoots and giggles here, we'll grab every one of these, and we'll see where we have the greatest concentration, and we'll go set up a motion sensor in that room. So now, since I did that, on my display, you'll notice that I now see everywhere light, light 2, light 2, light 2, light 2. There's a lot of lights over this side. There are only a few lights on this side. In fact, I'm still seeing O2 tanks, which I think is funny. I can actually, I thought I had that turned off. I do have it turned off, but for some reason it's still showing up on my HUD. So there's a game glitch for you. But over here, we have a lot of lights. So let's just run over here. Ought to be a door. And so we come in this door, there's a light. And there's a light over there. And there's a light down here. So we got 3 lights in one room. We could easily throw a motion sensor in here to help out with power drain in here and put this on motion sensors. So again, we'll just take our motion sensor and make sure we got the little red dot at the bottom, which we do. Okay, and we can slap that joker up on the wall. Even right here is fine. And let's just go ahead and what room was this classified as when we came in through? Keeping up with so this is fabrication, farm, and this is definitely not the flight deck. So this is the fabrication area. So we'll just call this Fab 1. So here we are with the device. We're going to add it into our motion group. So this will be a simpler example of signal logic. So we're just going to put this in signal sensor, and we're going to name this ms.fab1, fabrication 1. And we'll look at our interactive setup. So we can actually try to go back here a good bit and see how far we can come out. So we can get a good bit from there, and we'll go a little bit here to the right. And I don't really think there's too much more else for us to try to set up in here. I mean, that's pretty much blanket. And that's as far as I can go to that direction. So here we can just say, hey, let's follow this light. So this was MS-Fab1, and we need to give it a signal. So we'll call it MS-Fab1. And now we can go and access this light that's right here. And because now we know where this light is, I can just say lightFab.1, and I can say, hey, we're only going to turn on if we get a signal from the motion sensor Fab1. So there we go. And I could even do the same thing here with this light, but we kind of have a situation where this is actually a rather big room. That motion sensor didn't actually carry all the way over here. So we could, for simplicity's sake, just so we don't have to set up another signal as far as another logic gate of OR, we can actually just throw another one of these on that says, hey, if you're within this motion sensor's detection range, and let me see here, oh, I'm actually going to take that back up because it's backwards. The red dot is not on the bottom. It makes it a lot easier for me to place these when the red dot's on the bottom. And you'll see that's what I'm talking about. It's a little red dot right there. When it's on the bottom, it matches up with the interactive stuff, like super on point. So we'll put this in the signal sensor group. We're going to call this MS-Fab2. This is really like the center one. And again, we'll just chill out here, all of our stuff to 0, and give it a signal of MS-Fab2, and we'll activate the interactive setup, and we'll back up here so we can get a good idea of what we're doing. So anytime you do this, 5, the center one, is just bring up range, and then 4 is going to go to your left, and 5 will go to your right. So we'll just go to the right as much as we can, go to the left as much as we can, and we'll come down here. So that's pretty much the entirety of the room. hit escape. So now we know this is MS Fab 2. So this light here will say, hey, let's only turn on this light if we're within range of MS Fab 2. So now that is set up as a motion sensor. And now the last one to do is this guy that's right here. We have a light, and it is not set up for any signal logic right now whatsoever. So again, we can set up our motion sensor, and this will be number 3. So this is now MS Fab 3. Go to devices, add it to the last group, MS Fab 3, interactive setup mode, and we can say, hey, what is this one going to watch? So here we'll come all the way out as much as we possibly can. We'll go a little bit to the right, go a little bit to the left, and presto changeo, we're all set up. MS Fab 3. So now when I come here to the light here, I can say, hey, this is a light. This is really light Fab 3. If I can type OK, I'll blame the alcohol at this point. Light Fab 3. And we're going to follow the signal for MS Fab 3. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. So now these set of lights are now set up for motion sensors. So all 3 of these. They only come on if someone is in the area. And you'll notice that we have a clone chamber here. We also have this O2 station. So we could actually get pretty particular, and we can say, hey, let's only activate this station if someone is in the area. Because with any station in this game that you have to walk up to, like an O2 station, you have to walk up, you have to hit F, and that's how you get your oxygen. There is no way you can get oxygen just through the P menu. You have to physically walk up to this guy, and you have to hit F on him, and then he will refill your oxygen. So we could even say, yo, we hit P on this O2 station. Even though he doesn't take any, he does take 5. He takes 5 PU energy. We come over here to signal logic, and we say, yo, no one wants you to be on unless they're in the area. So here's MS Fab 3, follow it, boom. So now we save 5 PUs of energy. And it doesn't seem like much when you can save 1 or 5, but when you're talking about solar power in here, and we're looking at our current output, it's 48, and our average output, the more that we can get these numbers down for our output, if we can get the average output to be within what we can gather from the sun, that means our batteries can charge. And the moment our batteries start collecting, that's when you really start to win in your base as far as having your batteries supply all the energy you need for your base. So, you know, we just keep going through here. We keep setting up motion sensors. And so we've got 2 lights here just at this little exit area. And this can definitely, all this right here, we kind of hit the jackpot because both of these lights can be covered under 1 motion sensor. This is a little small area. So here we'll just say this is going to be Fab 4, but Bloops is in my P menu right now, so I actually can't get in there until just now. So we'll add this into the signal logic group. So we'll say MS Fab 4 and get out of there a moment, and we'll activate the interactive setup. And at that point, we're pretty much good to go with MS Fab 4. We'll have it transmit a signal, MS Fab 4, and that's what these 2 lights are going to follow. So I like to make sure that each light, like I said, I turned it on, the heads-up display, so I know where it's at, but I toggle it off after I've already got it figured out where this is. So this is going to be our Fab 4 light, and we actually need to set up the signal on there. So we'll follow number 4 that we just set up. And the same thing with this guy over here. We have 1 motion sensor, but it's going to control 2 different lights. So MS Fab 4, that will also be followed. So now you have to actually be in that area So now the lights are following us. We come back in here, the lights are on. So if no one's in here, this isn't going to take up any power at all. And we can actually turn that off of the heads-up display. But if you use a prefab, or even if you're building your own stuff, as long as you go around and you make sure that you have all your stuff wired up to signal logic, it helps make things a lot easier as far as the parasitic draw on your base, so that you can get that energy into your batteries, so that way you don't have to sit here and keep loading in fuel to your base. You'll get a break, you'll get to use solar. And if you can accumulate enough solar panel, you can smelt for free, you can craft for free, you can keep the lights on for free. You can eventually have a base that sustains itself. And that's really important. And one of the things that putting a base on the equator does for you is it gives you the most sun. So you won't get as much sun if you're on a pole. The ideal spot is on the equator. So when the sun comes around, you get more exposure to the sun. So just like in real life, it happens here in the game. So I think that was really cool that they had that be very similar. And we even looks like it has. It even looks like we have lights here on the. Are there any lights on the outside? It really bugs me right now that the O2 tanks are registering, even though I did not have them set up to follow me on my heads-up display after the initial little bit here. I can only assume they might have got zapped up and I can't see them now. We already set up this one on a motion sensor, so we'll take that off the heads-up display. And there's one up here on the second floor, so we need to find an elevator. So we're just kind of going through and optimizing. There's a light on the roof. Okay. I'm probably headed there at the moment. And I need to get some more food. This is a really great tutorial here when we're talking about how you can go through your base. Even if you found a prefab that you wanted off the Steam Workshop, how you can optimize it to be even better. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, the authors should have done this. They might not know. A lot of people are really build focused. But they might not be very logically inclined. And it takes a lot of logic to understand the process behind signal logic. It's a little tricky. Roof is only accessible from the south elevator. Okay, so I'm going to the south. And, you know, I just see this stuff here. Bloops, can you do me a favor and just zap up all those O2 tanks and the O2 stations since you don't need them here? That will help with a little bit of your power draw too from the stations. So this was like a little friendly drop-off site. And let's see, we've got the flight deck. So yeah, we got some lights. We're getting a little closer to them, but it still looks like there's a light underneath here. Not quite sure where we would go to access that. There is a light up here on the flight deck itself. And honestly, there's only one light up here on the flight deck. We could leave this on all the time. It's only one PU, and there's just one. Oh, that's pretty cool. There's already a motion sensor here. Where's the motion sensor at? Something just detected me going down here to the shuttle door. Question is, where is it? So we can always just go in here and look at the motion sensor. West, east, hangar door. Those were already in here. I added the fab 1 through 4. All the shutters are automatic. I didn't think shutters were fully automatic. I thought there was something triggering them. Okay, so we got lights over there. Those lights have to be... We got engineering. So yeah, we got an engineering light. So we could add in a motion sensor here for engineering. So MS engineering, we'll just say 1. I think there's only the 1. Are we really not going to copy paste? I just copied this. Huh. Alright. What? What do you mean an interior area? Ooh, an error has occurred. Okay. So, just for grins, we'll knock all this down to 0. Go into the interactive setup. Come back here. And make sure this encompasses the entire room. So come down 2. We need to go over 1. And what do we got over here? What's that? 3 more blocks? 2 more blocks? Okay, so that's engineering in a nutshell. And there's a light here. So here we go, show on HUD. We're going to call this light engineering. I think there's only 1, but we'll follow the MS motion sensor. Where's my motion sensor? I had that error earlier, so I think it didn't take it. Didn't take what was happening with my motion sensor. MS Engineering 1. Yeah, it didn't take it. In fact, it's having trouble. I never ran into this problem before. This is really interesting. Let's just say MS Engineering 1. We'll take it down to just this. Maybe it'll be okay with that instead of the full name. Yeah, MS Eng 1. So we now have that on a motion sensor. And that light can, I don't think it's being displayed on my HUD anymore. Yep. So slowly but surely we are eliminating the energy drain on this base. We've got energy tanks, or sorry, oxygen tanks. Yeah, those are the ones that I took out and put capacitors in. So for some reason, my heads-up display are glitched and are still showing O2 tanks where there aren't any O2 tanks. So that's always interesting. And we have a light that is up there. How do we get up there? I always love going through other people's builds because you really have no idea what's involved. So this is a reserve section, and we actually have this light back here and the reserve section. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the motion sensor here on this wall, and that way we can expand out as well as backwards to me. So we'll just name this MS Reserve A, because that's exactly where it's located. And I'm still having that issue where it doesn't like me copying and pasting in here. Really? MS Reserve. It doesn't like backspace. It like dies if I backspace. MS Reserve A. You want to borrow 100 cobalt, 2,000 silicon, and 1k neodymium for my capital vessel? Do I have a lot of cobalt? Yeah, as long as you get it back to me, that's fine. I don't mind. So yeah, you can take what you need as long as you pay me back. I think I have a good bit of cobalt, but I'm not positive. Yeah, let me know how much. If I have like a slew of cobalt, just go for it. If I don't have that much, you can still go for it. Just know that you gotta get that back to me at some point. This is actually upside down because the red dot's at the top, so it's throwing me off. So now my numpad stuff down here at the bottom is actually reversed. So 6 shoots me out to the west side, whereas normally it would shoot me out to the east. So that's what happens if you end up flipping that dot around. And so 8 will be my going down, like I just did there. And we're going to bring it back, so that's always still 5. So even back here, and we'll give it a 6 to go west one more. And so now that's the entire area. So that is all set up, and we can get this light set up on the new signal. Man, I cannot type today, man. I hope you guys aren't judging my typing. Light Reserve A. And we'll set up the signal here for MS Reserve A for that motion signal. And we continue to keep making Bloops' base more energy efficient. And slowly knocking out all the power drain items one by one. Lights are definitely a big thing to kind of watch out for, just because if you don't set up signal logic on them, they are on all the time, even if you know you're not there. Oh, I should hook Damien up with a faction invite. My bad. Did he apply? Do we know? Oh, no. He set up Damien's mind group over there. He is doing his own thing. I guess I should, is he talking in global chat? Okay, here we go. I wasn't watching global chat, so... Oh, holy crap. Did I just turn power off to the base trying to type? Oh, God, yes, I did. I was getting on people for turning off the base power, and then here I go and I screwed it up. You will ally up with us later. Okay. Just know you're more than welcome to. Anyone is more than welcome to. So yeah, that is definitely an option. Alright, what is over here? Is this another reserve area? And, oh, there's a light right here. What is this? This is light number 2, but it's not labeled. Where did I just walk into? How did I miss that light? So this is reserve B. So we'll, this light is now light reserve. Whoop. What is going on with my game, man? Like, this is ticking me off. In fact, I'm just gonna leave my game. We're gonna see like a smoky background, that's okay. But I'm gonna quit and come back in. I've been running the game now for more than 7 hours, easy. Shoot. And, yeah, because I was playing a little bit before I even got on. So the stream itself has been active for that amount of time, 6 hours and 47 minutes. So we're just going to go ahead and restart. It does do some squirrely things if it's been running for a long time. And, you know, it's early access. I don't expect there to be optimizations involved. So just know that things get a little squirrely the longer you run the game. Hey, Tanya, I was wondering if you were still hanging around. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. Did you get Empyrion, or are you just kind of checking things out? You might buy the game. You know, like, let me know what you're doing with Empyrion. I always like learning about people and where they are with this game. I get a lot of people who come in, they're thinking about buying the game. My recommendation is definitely buy it. You know, especially if you like things like 7 Days to Die, Minecraft, that sort of thing. Oh, you bought it in 2015? Shoot, I should move over. You probably already know all this stuff. So we'll hop back in here. Oh, you stopped playing for almost 2 years. Goodness gracious. Yeah, from what I understand, a lot has changed since then. And I had LASIK done on this eye, and it gets watery and teary like once a day. So you're going to see where my eye for a little bit here, but I'm not crying. It's just a little side effect that I have. Oh, I'm glad that you're tuning in and you're able to learn some. Like I said, if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. I typically stream 5 days a week. Trying to do a little experiment right now with streaming every day of the week. So I'm typically here after 7 p.m. CST. And we're loading back into the game, as you can see. And we're still enjoying our Friday night. We have some wine. Drinking some water because I'm getting kind of dehydrated, but you know, alcohol does that. I'm almost done with this wine bottle. That's my objective. Play Empyrion and drink a bottle of wine. You play solo mostly, but you're excited to get into online play. Well, let me tell you. So I started up the Empyrion server, but a friend of mine actually moved my stuff over to his server, and that's Admiral Peaches. And he is more into Empyrion right now than I am, which says a lot because I bought the game in December, and I already have 300-something hours into this game. You're drinking Calico Jack rum? All right, Damien, I'm glad I'm not drinking alone. Yes. And so, Tanya, we were recently talking about opening this up to the public. Or not really the public, but people who are on my stream who express an interest in wanting to play online and with other people. So I wrote up, and then my background is I've done a lot of guild leader and server administration stuff in the past. So a lot of people I game with I've known from Minecraft. I ran a Minecraft server for 3 years. And Peaches was one of my moderators. So we've been kind of bouncing ideas off each other, and we're thinking of opening it up to people who might, stop on my stream and say, hey, I'm looking to get back into the game, or I bought the game, I'm looking for multiplayer. So I've drafted up a Google Doc that goes over like social conduct and rules and stuff like that. And tomorrow I should have the actual application form done. So then if you're interested, just tune in tomorrow. I'll have the bot with a command that you can do to get the information and go through that application process. So if you want to play here and you don't mind going through a few steps to get on here, I can definitely accommodate anyone who might want to come play with us. Because I love meeting new people and playing with new people. And I like sharing this game. I think this is a great game. I really don't understand why more people don't play Empyrion. And I say that just because, like on the Twitch streamer list, there's only like 5 or 6 people streaming this game at a time. So, yeah, you're more than welcome to come and join. I think it'd be fantastic, especially since you're an old hat, so to speak. You've been playing since 2015, so you getting back into the game, and then also having the collaboration of people, it definitely helps make things a little smoother. So, something to consider. I'm just putting it out there for you. Let's see here. Bloops. Would you mind checking your second floor and seeing how many blank spaces I have for grow plots? I love trying to navigate this space because I really have no idea where the hell I'm going. If I was a grow plot, where would I go? Well, definitely not outside the base. Let's go back inside. What's this? This is the second floor. I must need to go on the second floor on the other side. Let's see.
Now you know how everybody felt in Minecraft going through your base.
Oh, very funny. People can actually, no, my base wasn't for community use, thank you very much. Farm, here we go. I'm headed to the farm! Bloops, I'm making it there! Alright, floor 2. Here we go. Oh, God, no, that's outside too. Maybe floor 3? Nope, that says flight deck. What did I miss? Back down. Let's go to, here's 2. That's the outside. Oh, here we go. I found it! I found it! So that's probably like, okay, so we've got, ooh, this is double. So that's going to be 18 and 18. That's going to be 36. Looks like a 9. 36 and 9. That's 45. Got my jetpack on. 45. Another 9. That's 54. You got, again, 54. That's 63 and 72. And then a group of 18. 70. What did I say? Oh, God. I need to get a calculator out. I've been drinking. I can't math right now. I've been drinking! Math skills go out the window the longer I'm awake and what's involved. So anyway, I know that those are 2 18s. That's 36. I'm just going to add this shit up. Yeah, so we're up to 54, plus another 18. So we're up to 72, and then we got 2 18s, so that's another 36. So you have 108 crop plots that you need to fill. Hooray for Windows Calculator. Because, yeah, when I've been drinking and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, we're not doing math. If I had, like an hour in the waking up and I had my coffee, I could sit here and bang all this out mentally, but it ain't happening right now. So Tanya said it's a great game, changed a lot over the years, and so maybe people played it when it was lacking many features. I think it's pretty awesome now. I don't know, as you know, I just recently got it, but I haven't gone through the history of patch notes to see what all they've done over the years. I just know that what they have right now. You can still tell there's some parts of this game that are in alpha or experimental, but for the most part, it's actually doing really well, I think. Oh, there's where some of those beds were that I was looking at. So yeah, I see some like personal quarters and some closets. That's pretty cool. And then we've got the crop plots here. You owe me mats for 108 grow plots as well as the ingots. Oh god. I have nutrient solution. I don't really know how much I have. Are you making stuff on my capital vessel right now? I mean, I could do it. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. We found that out earlier. This is already all set up on logic. That's fine. Just keep a list of what you owe me. That's cool. As long as it makes it back into my capital vessel eventually, I'm cool. I just don't want to have to farm all that stuff myself again. It's tedious. It takes a little while. Alright, so yeah, this is the hangar. And what are we doing now for our solar? Current output, 74. And our average output is 133. We still don't have anything in our batteries. You don't need all at once. Empyrion needs mail. It would be nice if there was like a mail feature in here where they could mail other people. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Space mail.
Space mail? Yeah. So here's the light. Is this on signal logic? I don't think I was in engineering B. I wasn't. I'll just throw that signal. Can't tell where the red dot is. Oh well. What did I say this was? Engineering B? God, remind me not to do signal logic when I've been drinking. Alright, engineering B. Alright, let's add this into the signal group. Alright, so we're doing much the same. Wait, I put a lever up there? No wonder there wasn't any damn dot. Case in point. Don't do signal logic when you're drinking. Okay, so anyway, I need a motion sensor. There we go. And, the red dot, yeah, the red dot's at the bottom. Okay, cool. Now we're cooking with gas. Now I got the right thing. I was like, what the hell is this? Alright, motion sensor. Add it to the signal logic group. Bingo. Name it motion sensor engineering B. And let's just shrink all this up and we'll handle all this manually. Let's go up one, and I think I actually can go over a few. Let me just see what we got going on. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that is perfect. Let's put out that signal. Whoops, I might have done that a little too fast. I don't know if it took that or not, because like I said, I like to do, yeah, this is why I like to do enter after I put a name in. Otherwise, it seems like it doesn't stick. Alright, so now we're going to follow engineering B. And so now that light is on signal logic. And these are mainly just fuel tanks in here. Oh, this is where the core is. Look at that. Tucked in neatly in here. Right next to all the fuel tanks that can explode and take out the core. That's... I don't know if I like that design, because if one of these gets hit, it's going to blow up, and it's going to take the core with it. So that's something to consider. Don't suppose you have an auto mine handy on your CV. I actually made some auto miners. Look in the output box of my CV. Yeah, not OSHA approved. Not by any means. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we went up there to the farm. The only thing that really should be up here lit for the farm would be the grow lights. And we don't want to mess with those because you always want grow lights on 24/7 or else your plants don't grow. So we're just going to double check and make sure. He might have added in like a regular light, but for the most part, regular, yeah, it looks like all there is up here is plant light, so I support that. And then this is just over here. I don't see any lights over there, and then we have the third floor section for the flight deck. There's a light right here. I'm gonna BRB again, literally like 30 seconds. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Again, the benefits of having the bathroom across the hall. So we are still setting up signal level to optimize the installation here from a prefab from J. Randall. We are cruising here at, we are on, what planet? Mukund? I think we're on Mukund. Yeah, we are on Mukund right now. And Bloops has put in a prefab base, again, from J. Randall. And we are just going through setting up solar panels, solar capacitors, and optimizing the base for to be energy efficient, so that way we can utilize solar energy and not have a large amount of drain. You didn't find the auto miner, but you found several stacks of neodymium in your backups ingots chest. That's fine. Try checking my SV, actually. My SV might have auto miners, because I typically go in my SV. I made some auto miners earlier today, so I don't know where they went to. Let's see here. Get my food gone, because my food is dropping. Oh, you're looking at auto miner? Yeah, I told you, I'm really sucking on neodymium. Like, that's one of the things I'm having trouble getting right now. Alright, so... Oh, cool, they're in the SV. Yeah, my SV is usually what rolls around, and I'm in there when I go around, because it's a lot faster than my capital vest when it doesn't take much power. Cool, you'll set some up? Awesome. When you do me a favor and just share the waypoints with me, and then that way I'll know where to go when I run a circuit. Alright, so we're going to set a motion sensor up. I really don't know what to call this room. This is this the only part on top for the flight deck? Yeah, I think we'll just call this flight deck. Where's that other little light at? It's over here. If we can get the motion sensor to go out this far, I might set it all up to be... Oh, there's light up here too. I think we could probably put both of those on a sensor. So let's see what we can do here. First things first. Okay, red dots at the bottom. This is kind of tacky because I don't like them floating here. That would be the best spot to put that in. I definitely want something against here because people come up the elevator. And I really don't have much of a choice. I could put it here, but it wouldn't give me the depth that I need. So we're just going to have to be tacky, is what this amounts to. So we're just going to have to stick it right here. And even, actually, that won't even capture people coming out of the elevator. Where can I put this that will do some something decent? And this is all... Oh, there's a turret here. It could get blown up. We might just have to stick with, like, the sidewall. It really isn't a really good spot to put this motion sensor, so we'll just do the sidewall. Where's that red dot hanging out at the bottom? Okay. So we'll just try and expand it as far right as we can, but this is not the most optimal placement. I kind of wish I had a little bit more options. So we'll just say this is flight deck. Flight deck. And we'll put that into its own group. You'll set some up with the outer ones always being on. Sweet. Don't forget to click that checkmark box for enable faction access so I can actually get in there and get some, because between the lava planet and here, this actually isn't a bad setup for the auto miners. Alright, so here we go, setting up our signal logic here. We're actually going to expand this one all the way out onto the flight deck. That was kind of creepy seeing you fly around. Alright, and then we'll bring it forward. And you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and capture all of the flight deck like that. And, yeah, I can't go behind the motion sensor. So you see here how the motion sensor is on the wall. I can't go behind it. So the max I can do is this side. Now, I could... No, I think we're just going to leave it we're going to leave it like that. And we're just going to set the lights up in here. So at this point, we'll grab this guy. And this is flight deck. And we'll have it follow the MS flight deck signal. So that is now done. So I think we've got the majority of the lights done. We've got a majority of the signal levels done. And I'm kind of tempted to put that light on the same. But I think I'll leave it alone. We'll leave the 2 lights up here as always on, in case someone, you know, flies their vessel in or something along those lines. And yeah, do I have any lights that are still showing up on my heads-up display? And I don't really see any. Looking. Nope. So let's just double check. We'll shrink all this, and we'll look at lights. So this light doesn't have a name, but it's not on my HUD. Okay, and if we look at statistics, what do we got going on here? Solar, it's nighttime right now, so we're not really putting out a lot of output, which is to be expected. We're only putting out 27 KPUs. The average right now is 95. And if we take a look here at our current output in base, we got 2.55 KPUs, and base power as it stands right now could go for 151 hours. So ideally, you know, if we don't have enough power from the batteries and solar power, at least we have a really long time here with the fuel capacity in the base. You know, this isn't something you got to come in every day and click the fuel wall button. This is something that's going to last you quite a while. So if we were to just bust out a calculator here real quick, which I happen to just use Windows Calculator, and we divide that 151 by 24, this base can go for 6 days, 6.29 days before it runs out of power, assuming that things stay just like they are. And like I said, we've got a lot of the lights now and some of the stations on signal logic. We've added in the constructors, the food processor, the furnace that are now on signal logic. And we've pretty much have most, if not the vast majority of the lights on motion sensors, so that they're only going to come on if someone is actually here. Now, there really isn't too much more else that you're going to be able to do. This guy here, what's this? Does this armor locker actually take up any power? So this is 5 PUs. We could technically grab the nearest motion sensor, which is that guy right there, MS-Fab2, and we can say, hey, this armor locker, just follow MS-Fab2. So there's a couple other stations here that are kind of around that can still grant me sending a little bit of power, but for the most part, I think we've done pretty much all we can do, unless I happen to start finding other things. And, you know, this O2 station right here, we don't really need this. I need to start just going around zapping things that aren't needed that could be impacting the power. Damien, do I have to have a base to spawn my HV? Yes, you do. Oh, wait, he's not even in faction. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so that's now set up on there, and I want to go get, there was some more O2 stuff that I want to go grab. That's filtered by O2. So we still have, actually we have several ventilators. That's interesting. Why isn't this stuff showing up for me? O2 tank, O2 ventilator. So there's only one more of these left. And we still have ventilators. And they take 20 energy a pop. So what we're going to do, this is probably our biggest power drain right now. And on a planet where you don't need oxygen because the atmosphere is already oxygen friendly, we're going to save a crap ton of power by going around and zapping up all these ventilators. So we're just going to track them all. So we have mail, maybe a console calculator with macros and various Empyrion things like ore required and on that. What? Really, Tanya? What? You gotta give me some more explanation. Where's this mail thing? You got a link you can send me? Don't put it in the chat. The bot is gonna go crazy on you, but you can direct message me. I have accept private messages from people. Not sure I'll be able to do a mail thing, but maybe could make the calculator. You want those things. So we're gonna zap out that ventilator. And we're going to get the rest of these ventilators out of here. Right now, these are probably the largest power drain on this base at this point. Oh, personal projects. Okay, I got you. I thought you were talking about something innate to Empyrion. I was like, wait, tell me more. I want to know what's going on. Alright, we have any ventilators up here? 76 feet away. Is there a door up here? Yes, there is. Okay, slowly but surely, we're gonna zap out all the, oh, this is a little cutesy room. We're gonna zap out all the ventilators in here. Went ahead and shared neodymium and cobalt miner spots with you that you just placed. Sweet. Let me, that was not the right button to press. Wow, oh, I didn't know it automatically added in that kind of stuff. So I only have one right now. Is this, private and public. Did you do share with faction? Because I should have, oh, here we go. Here's some more. I've noticed that sometimes if you don't save what people send you for waypoints, it won't be there for you later. So I try to make sure I move it from the public here to like private. So 4 neodymium and 5 cobalt. That's all I got right now. Pretty sure that's all that was over there too. Yeah. Cool, thank you. Alright, so now there's a ventilator 90 feet this way. We'll go ahead and get that guy. And I think we're going to see a big difference in power drain after we grab these ventilators that have just been kind of hanging out. And there's, oh, it's actually like right here. That's a ventilator. Let's see if we can put that nice shutter window back into place, because that was actually pretty cool. Okay, that is not how that was a moment ago. Whoops! We want vertical transparent. There we go. That's how that was a moment ago. It's like, oh, when you put something back, and that is not how it looked. Just like, woo! Alright, so now, what do we got going on here? We got a ventilator on the other side of this personal quarters. Oh, right here. Whoop! And it's not there anymore. I kind of really hate how it still keeps, like, if you zap it, it should be gone. Alright, I think we already got the ventilator in the personal quarters. We're just going to run over here and double, triple check, because that's how I roll. Double, triple check, always. Alright, so we can go down a floor, provided I have a way to get down a floor. I thought I did. Yeah, I do. It's over here. Or I think this is the way down. Nope. Oh, it's over here. Man, I am having a hard time trying to learn the layout of this base. Like, the